Okay, paving stones laid out that are not dimensional, they're trip hazards. And our lawn sprinkler exposed piping is allowed as long as it's stapled every 12 inches. It's not optimum being exposed like that, but we're here to talk about the HVAC condensing units. And I'm just going to assume that this is the newest one, probably downstairs, probably worked. That's an assumption. And we got the upstairs one. We got dirty coils. Look at that. Dirty coils. So I come over here, I'm just going to take these two, and I'm going to look at this, and I can tell by reading this display, because it's nice in there, our refrigerant is 410A. No longer manufactured in the United States, no longer legally imported in the United States. Yes, they do have stockpiles of it, but as it ages out, because this unit is 13 years old, they're engineered on paper to last they're engineered on paper to last 20 years, but Las Vegas is going to give you 14 years, and it's 13 years old, and it's a 410A refrigerant. Okay, I'm reading this, and I'm reading this as a 5-ton system. So at 13 years old, we're doing 410A. Let's talk about this one for a little bit, the one with the dirtier coils. Okay. It's probably original to the house, and I do not know what size it is. Okay, the data plate, the only thing I can read on the data plate, the only information that I can ascertain, that I can use, that's usable to me, is that it's the refrigerant in this is R22. Which I have in my house, by the way. My house is a main unit. It's almost 20 years old. I hate to say that. You know, I'm living on borrowed time. And this is living on borrowed time. And 410A, no longer manufactured in the United States, no longer imported in the United States. R22 has no longer been manufactured in the United States, no longer imported in the United States for a long, long time. And there's a lot less R22 than there is 410A on the shelves, on the stock to service this. This is an old man. Any technician that comes out here and services this is going to rightfully say, you know what, I can get this old dog running for you, but it's going to cost you, and you might want to think about updating it. You know, these are both obsolete systems. This is an ancestor. Okay, that one's obsolete. This is an ancestor. So if it works, that's all the Texas Real Estate Commission is concerned about, whether it's working or installed properly. But no, you want to know what you got. Alright, so coming over here, our refrigerant piping to both units is the old exposed foam. You can see how the sun's RV rays have caused it to deteriorate and separate. That's why we don't use that anymore. Since 2015, we haven't used that. Okay, so, and then our Schrader valve caps, look that up in the dictionary. But our refrigerant service ports, okay, and these are called line sets, okay, these are supposed to be anti-theft. And was it required when this was built? No. It was required to be like this. And that's why we don't do it like this anymore, because this is what happens when it was done like that. Same thing over here. And I think this was 2013. So this is just a little above the curve. So at the time, the refrigerant ports did not have to be anti-theft. At the time, we did not have to have more robust covers. But those have to do with energy and safety. So that's the safety aspect of it. That's considered a deficiency by the Texas Real Estate Commission. Now we're going to see if they work or not. That's what we got. We got two old men here. And I'm going to take some pictures and see how our line sets go up in there to see if they're sealed properly. But I got a little ahead of myself. I saw these. I go, wow, man, look at there. Not a 410A. Whew. Oh my God. Oh, R22. Man, this is the museum inspection.